Hey guys, Spontaneity here. I forgot to mention I got these two other sneak peeks, but as you can see, they're quite a bit thicker than the other ones, so I decided to give them their own separate video because I'll probably have a bit more to talk about with them. And I didn't want the first video to go on way too long. So, this is a minefield because it's about immigration reform. I feel like no matter what I say about this, I'm going to get death threats and all sorts of stuff, because that's what happens when you talk politics on the internet. And even if I'm just talking about the story part of it, people are going to bring their own political biases to it, and it's just going to be a mess. So, I might get back to this one because making a political statement with your writing is an important topic to discuss. And I feel like this is a good example of what works and what doesn't work. But I'll have to get back to that later, when I find a way to discuss this book that doesn't end with me being afraid for my own safety. I mean, of course, the copy I got is just a sneak peek of the first 8 chapters. But already it has some discussion-worthy things going on in it. But again, politics and the internet is a mess. So the first sneak peek in here is The Haters, which is this one. I found it very funny. There's a lot of fourth wall jokes, and I like the distinctive voice of the narrator. It lends itself to some very hilarious moments. I like that each character has their own voice. However, one of the characters' voices is somehow injecting the words mother effer into everything. So, yes, this book does seem like it is quite vulgar. But it is an enjoyable read. It's about jazz and music and stuff, and I don't understand jazz, but I am kind of music addict, so I understood that part of it. And just in general, it seems like a fun read. The next sample in this is 7 Ways We Lie. And this is in full color. And as you can see, having this cover being black and white does not help it. Although I don't know if the colors correspond to the characters, because I don't know. From the color, it looks like Olivia Scott's either greed or pride, and while those kind of make sense, I think maybe one or two of the other sins might fit more with her character. So I don't know if the colors on the cover correspond with the chapter headings. It'd be easier to tell if the book was in color, and I think it might be in color when it's published. But being that it's just a collection of samples, it's kind of hard to tell, but I can't really tell what this book is about from the sample, but it seems interesting. It seems like it's the stories of 7 characters who represent 7 high school girls who represent the 7 deadly sins. That's all it says, is a high school drama that involves all 7 deadly sins. So, there's 2 chapters, and even though the characters represent the 7 deadly sins, their characters aren't defined by their sins. There's good motivation for why they act that way, and they have more to their life. So it's interesting. I'll have to look for that when it comes out. The next sample is The Romantics. Why are they out of order? It should be here, here, and here, but no, it's here, here, and here. Anyway, the next book sample is from The Romantics. It's a love story, but told from the point of view of love. So, I'm not really into romance, but this looks very interesting. It kind of reminds me of The Book Thief, where death is the narrator. And the voice kind of reminds me of that death as well, although it's its own thing. Love is its own thing here. I kind of see love as like the Grim Reaper with like a pink robe, because I have to visualize something, even though that's love probably is not like a physical thing in this book. It starts off very interesting with a believable relationship, believable motivations, and 3 chapters 2 or 3 chapters in and I'm already making injured puppy noises reading it. That's a good sign. I'm gonna look for this one when it comes out because I want to know what happens next. The next sample is the movie version, which is where is it's here. Whoa. It's here. Yes, I am making my first impression videos like right after I read each sample. But in this book, the main character is a girl named Amelia who she has this quirk where she imagines a movie version of her life. Like she imagines her life but in a more coherent way, like a movie. Because in real life, sometimes things just happen randomly, but in a movie, everything has a purpose. It seems like it's a coping mechanism of some sort, so I'm interested in finding out how she developed that. I like the banter and the dynamic with her and her brothers. They're funny. So this looks like an enjoyable read, even though it's a romance. I'll have to check it out. The next sample is called, wow, it's very blue. The next sample is called The Graces. And this is what the cover looks like in color. Not a fan of this one. It's written nicely. The prose is nice, and she uses the word awkwarding, which is that's a plus. But first of all, it's described as a sexy novel, and it's very occult and has black magic and stuff, and kind of reminds me of Twilight with even more occultness. And I don't like that kind of stuff, so I think I'll pass. But it does look like it's a decently written book if you like that kind of stuff. So if you like that stuff, check it out. And the next sample is Marisi. It seems to be the first book in the new series called the Red Abby Chronicles. It's about a women's convent, it seems, and the main character, Marisi, is one of the girls in the convent, and she shows, in this sample, she shows a new girl around and simultaneously shows the audience around, and they get to know the convent. So, well, Abby, I guess, not convent. It's interesting. I like the world that is set up, and I don't know, I might have to look into this series, see if it's something that I might enjoy.